Good morning, guys. Today I have a little bit of a reading review for you all. My hair is a mess. I'm in my pajamas and I'm sitting on my living room floor. Check out my living room. On the floor, I have my notes, all my materials set up here, and I'm setting my phone up on Christmas boxes I never put up. All right, so let's get started on this review. So today we are going to be reviewing nonfiction texts, and I want you to take a second and think about that. What is a nonfiction text? Does that mean the story is going to be fake or made up, or does that mean that the story is going to be not fake or something that's true? I'll give you a hint. NF, the first two letters of nonfiction, not fake. So that means that all nonfiction stories are stories that are real, things that are actually real. And we have some elements here today that we're going to review, and I'll show you what they look like in some examples. So we're going to talk about the title, the table of contents, headings, pictures, captions, labels, diagrams, glossary, and the index. I have two different books here that we're going to talk about today because not every single one of these elements are going to be found in every single nonfiction book, and that's okay. So the first one I have right here, well, let's see. The first thing that we have to talk about is our title. Well, here's the title of this book, which is called Planets. And the title gives the reader an idea of what the book is going to be about. So we know that this book is going to be all about planets. I'm probably not going to read about bumblebees or monkeys inside of this book because it's titled Planets. So I'm going to read about planets today. All right, so then the next thing that we have is our table of contents. And our table of contents is always found towards the beginning of the book. And if I flip over just one page past the title page, I have the table of contents here for this book. All right, and remember that the table of contents shows you all the topics that are going to be in this book. As well as the topics, it also gives you the page numbers on which you can find these things. So if I wanted to read about our solar system, I would find our solar system and I would go to page 10. If I wanted to read about our moon, I would find this topic, our moon, and it would be found on page 24. So these just give you topics. They're kind of like chapters for nonfiction books. All right, so the next thing that we have is called a heading. And the headings can be found typically towards the top of the page. So here's our first heading here for our planet book, and it's called What's a Planet? And a heading typically names the section and gives us a preview of what we're going to be reading about. So we know that on this page, I'm going to be reading about what a planet is. I'm going to find out all about planets. All right, guys, so after the heading, we're going to talk about pictures. Now, nonfiction texts typically always have actual pictures that people have taken on cameras. And the pictures are to give us a better understanding of what we're reading about. So inside this planet book, there are lots of different pictures. So I'll show you just a couple. Let's see. So we have this page, which shows a close-up picture of the sun. We have this picture that shows us different types of planets that we have in our solar system. But I'm going to show y'all this one right here, and then we'll talk about some more things into detail. All right, so check this out. We're looking at this picture right here. So this is a picture of a planet, and if we look a little closely, we have a little box here, and then we have a larger box right here. Well, this little box right here actually is our label. We're going to talk about labels and captions. So this is a label, and a label is a word or maybe like one or two words that's on the picture that tells you what the picture is. So I know that this planet is Jupiter because of the label that is given to me. And then we also have this thing called captions. Not every photo in a nonfiction book will have captions, but some of them do. And the caption goes along with the picture and it tells us more info about it. So if I read this caption, it says Jupiter and 4 of its moons. So I know that this picture is Jupiter and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 of its moons. I will show y'all a couple other examples. So like here, check this out. So here's a picture of Earth's moon, and I know because of the label that's given to me. I know this planet is Mercury, and I know this planet is Titan, which I've never heard of before. All right, let's see. Oh, and look, here is a good example of a caption. So you have the photo of an astronaut, and if you read this little box right here, it would give us a little bit more information about this picture. So it says, astronaut Buzz Aldrin walks on the moon in 1969 as part of the Apollo 11 mission. So this caption goes along with this picture and it lets us know what the picture is about. All right, so the last three things I'm going to talk about are going to be in a different book. All right, my new book is Whales, because the Planet book unfortunately does not have any diagrams or an index or glossary labeled in this one, but that's okay because this one does. All right, so diagrams. So check this out. Here is a diagram of a whale. I'll give y'all a second to look at it. And a diagram is just a larger picture that has labels all throughout and tells you about the picture. So we have a picture of a sperm whale here, and then every single box gives us a different part of the whale's body and goes into a little bit more detail about the whale's body. So this would be an example of a diagram. All right, the last two things, this is my favorite element of all nonfiction books, and it is called the glossary. And the glossary is typically found towards the very end of the book. For me, it's the second to last page. And a glossary is very important because it's kind of like a dictionary. It shows you the important words that are inside the story. So for the whale story, we have some words like migration, echolocation, blubber, predator. These are all words that go along with our topic of whales. I probably wouldn't find the word migration or blubber or echolocation if I was reading about flowers. So these words are specific to our topic of whales. And as well as with the words, it also gives us the definition, which is just telling us what the word actually means. So if you didn't know what echolocation was, you could read the definition right here. And it says using sound waves to locate an object. And there's a picture that goes along with it to help you better understand it as well. So a glossary is found at the end of the book and is like a dictionary. The very last thing that we can talk about today is called the index, which is typically the last page of a nonfiction book, but not every nonfiction book has it. And an index just shows you all of the topics that are in the book, and it gives you the page numbers as well. So if I wanted to read about blubber, I could go to page 23. If I wanted to read about whale blowholes, I could go to page 15 or 32. Or if I wanted to read about whale teeth, I could go to page 15 and 32. All right, guys, so I hope you learned a little something today or had a little refresher today about nonfiction text. My challenge to you today is to either find a nonfiction text around your house and try to look for these elements, or if you have access to Epic, log on to Epic and read a nonfiction book. I want you to show somebody in your family, a brother or sister, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, and grandpa, a stuffed animal. I want you to show these elements to someone in your house today, all right? I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.